What if I told you that success isn't something you chase, but something that comes to you when you become the right person? Imagine not having to hunt for opportunities, but instead having them come to you effortlessly. What if everything you want in life, success, wealth, happiness, was waiting for you, but all you had to do was focus on who you are becoming? Think about this. How much of your success has been held back by the person you are today? Are you limiting your own growth by the way you think, act, or even the habits you have? Success doesn't just happen because you wish for it. It happens because you become someone who is ready for it. Today I'll share how you can start attracting success naturally by transforming yourself from the inside out. Stick with me and let's dive into how you can become the person success is drawn to. Number 1, transform yourself into a person of real value. The greatest gift you can give to the world and to yourself is becoming a person of real value. Not just someone who gets by, not just someone who exists, but someone who brings something meaningful to the table. Because when you develop yourself, when you strengthen your character, when you build your skills, your wisdom, your discipline, you become the kind of person who attracts success instead of chasing it. Now think about it. If you want better opportunities, better relationships, better results in your life, then you must become better. You must upgrade yourself. Success is something you attract by the person you become. It's not about luck. It's not about hoping things work out. It's about preparing yourself so that when opportunities come, you're ready to seize them. So how do you transform yourself into a person of real value? It starts with a decision to stop waiting for things to change and to start changing yourself. A decision to take responsibility for your life and your results. That's the foundation. You must take control of what you can control. Your attitude, your actions, your mindset. Because the world doesn't owe you anything. No one is coming to hand you success. It's up to you to earn it by becoming someone who deserves it. The first step is learning. You must commit yourself to learning more every single day. Knowledge is the foundation of value. But not just any knowledge, practical knowledge. Wisdom that can be applied. Because knowing something is not enough. You must use it. If you study success, study leadership, study communication, study how to be productive, you will begin to see changes in the way you think and operate. Most people stop learning when they leave school. They think education ends when the diploma is in their hands. But real education starts when you decide to educate yourself. When you decide to feed your mind with powerful, useful information, instead of distractions and entertainment that lead nowhere. Read books that challenge you. Listen to people who have achieved great things. Surround yourself with conversations that push you to think bigger. Because the more you learn, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more valuable you become. Now, learning is one thing, but the next step is action. Because knowledge without action is useless. If you want to become valuable, you must put into practice what you learn. If you read about leadership, start leading. If you learn about discipline, apply it. If you study success, take steps toward it. Action is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. And one of the most valuable things you can do is develop skills. Your income, your opportunities, your influence, they all rise and fall based on your skill set. If you improve your ability to communicate, to solve problems, to lead people, to stay disciplined, to work hard, you will automatically increase your value in the marketplace and in life. The more skilled you are, the more doors open for you. And remember, you don't have to be great at everything, but you must be great at something. Specialize, become excellent in an area that matters. If you master a skill, you will always be in demand. But if you stay average, if you refuse to develop yourself, then you will struggle to create the life you want. Discipline is another key. You can't build value without discipline. You must train yourself to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Because emotions are unreliable. If you only act when you feel motivated, you will never reach your potential. True value comes from consistency. From showing up day after day, improving, refining, strengthening your mind, your body, your character. Think about it. Who do you respect more? The person who works hard even when it's difficult, or the person who only does what's easy. The world rewards those who are reliable, those who push through discomfort, those who can be trusted to get things done. That's what makes you valuable. Not just talent, not just potential, but discipline. Now here's something most people overlook: your character. If you want to be valuable, you must become a person of integrity. Because skills and knowledge mean nothing if people can't trust you. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you commit to something, follow through. If you make a mistake, own up to it. The way you carry yourself, the way you treat people, the way you show up every day, it all determines the kind of person you become. And people of real value are rare. Most people take shortcuts. Most people cut corners. Most people do the bare minimum. But if you become someone who does things right, someone who stands by their word, someone who is honest and strong, then people will respect you. They will want to work with you. They will look up to you. Because trust is powerful. And along with that, you must develop resilience. Life will test you. There will be obstacles. There will be failures. There will be setbacks. But how you respond to those moments defines you. Do you give up? Or do you get stronger? Do you complain? Or do you learn? People of value don't break when things get tough. They adapt, they adjust, they rise. Because they understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. So when you face difficulties, don't see them as problems. See them as training. Life is shaping you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more valuable. And the more you overcome, the more confidence you build. The more confidence you build, the more unstoppable you become. And finally, contribution. A person of real value doesn't just build themselves up. They lift others up. The more you help, the more valuable you are. If you can solve problems for people, if you can add to their lives, if you can bring solutions, energy, wisdom, leadership, then you will never be without opportunity. Think about the most successful people in the world. They didn't just focus on themselves. They provided something the world needed. They created, they built, they served. Because success is not just about what you get, it's about what you give. And that's the key. The more you grow, the more you can give, the stronger you become, the more you can help, the wiser you are, the more guidance you can provide. So start today. Make the decision to become a person of value. Develop your mind, strengthen your character, build your skills, discipline yourself, become trustworthy, become resilient, and commit to serving others. Because when you do that, success is no longer a mystery. It becomes the natural result of who you are. Number 2, build unshakable discipline to attract lasting success. Discipline is the foundation of success. It is the force that separates those who achieve their goals from those who make excuses. It is the bridge between dreams and reality. If you want to create lasting success in your life, you must develop unshakable discipline. Because without it, nothing else matters. You can have the greatest ideas, the biggest ambitions, the most detailed plans, but if you don't have the discipline to follow through, it all falls apart. Success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of habits, consistency, and personal responsibility. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who wait for the perfect moment. They are the ones who discipline themselves to take action, even when they don't feel like it. They train their minds and bodies to do what needs to be done, whether it's easy or not. Think about it. Every successful person in any field has built their success on discipline. Athletes don't wake up every day feeling motivated to train, but they do it anyway. Entrepreneurs don't always feel inspired to work, but they push forward. Writers, musicians, business leaders, they all understand that motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel like it, some days you don't. But discipline keeps you moving forward. It is the ability to control your actions instead of being controlled by emotions, distractions, or laziness. So how do you build this kind of discipline? How do you develop the strength to stay committed, to follow through, to keep going even when it's hard? It starts with a decision that your goals, your future, and your potential matter more than comfort. Because the truth is, Discipline is not about feeling good in the moment. It's about making choices that lead to a better future. The first step to building unshakable discipline is taking full responsibility for your actions. You must stop blaming circumstances. Stop blaming other people. Stop making excuses. If you don't have the results you want in life, the only person who can change that is you. Success is not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. The moment you take control of your own habits, your own daily decisions, your own mindset, you put yourself on the path to success. You must set clear goals. Vague wishes won't get you anywhere. Saying, "I want to be successful" is not enough. What does success mean to you? Is it financial freedom? Is it building a strong, healthy body? Is it mastering a skill, creating a business, making an impact? Define it. Get specific, write it down. Because when you know exactly what you're working toward, it becomes easier to stay disciplined. Once you have your goals, you must create a plan. Because without a plan, discipline has no direction. It's not just about working hard, it's about working smart. Break your goal down into daily, actionable steps. If you want to get in shape, what does that mean? How many days a week will you work out? What foods will you eat? If you want to build a business, what specific actions will you take every day to move forward? Discipline becomes easier when you have a clear roadmap. Now comes the most important part: execution. This is where most people fail. They start strong, but when things get difficult, they fall back into old habits. This is why discipline is so rare, because it requires consistency. Anyone can be disciplined for a day, but can you stay committed for weeks, months, years? That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. To develop this level of discipline, you must train yourself to act regardless of how you feel. The best way to do this is to start small. If you try to change everything at once, you will get overwhelmed and quit. But if you focus on one habit at a time, you can build momentum. Start with something simple. Wake up at the same time every day. Exercise for 10 minutes. Read for 15 minutes. Prove to yourself that you can follow through on small commitments, and then build from there. Your mind will try to fight you. It will tell you, just skip today. It's not a big deal. You can start tomorrow. That's the moment you must push through. Because every time you give in, you weaken your discipline. But every time you follow through, you strengthen it. One of the best ways to stay disciplined is to remove distractions. Your environment matters. If you are constantly surrounded by things that pull you away from your goals, social media, junk food, negative people, your discipline will suffer. But if you create an environment that supports your success, discipline becomes easier. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Remove temptations. Make it easier to do the right thing and harder to do the wrong thing. And when things get difficult, when you feel like giving up, remember why you started. Remind yourself of the vision you have for your life. Think about the future version of yourself, the person you are becoming. Every disciplined action takes you closer to that person. Every time you push through discomfort, you grow stronger. And here's something important. Discipline is not just about working hard. It's also about taking care of yourself. You cannot perform at your best if you are constantly exhausted, overwhelmed, and burned out. Success is about sustainability. That means prioritizing your health, getting enough rest, and managing stress. If you don't take care of yourself, you won't have the energy or focus to stay disciplined. So take care of your body. Exercise regularly. Eat nutritious foods. Get enough sleep. Keep your mind sharp by reading, learning, and challenging yourself. A disciplined life is a balanced life. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be consistent. The final step to building unshakable discipline is holding yourself accountable. The best way to do this is to track your progress. If you don't measure your actions, it's easy to lose focus. Keep a journal. Write down what you accomplished each day. Reflect on what went well and what you can improve. This keeps you honest with yourself. It shows you where you're succeeding and where you need to step up. And if you ever feel like you're not making progress, look back at how far you've come. Discipline is not about instant results. It's about long-term growth. If you stay committed, If you keep pushing forward, if you refuse to quit, success is inevitable. Most people never achieve their full potential because they lack discipline. They want shortcuts. They want easy solutions. But real success requires effort. It requires patience. It requires consistency. If you can master discipline, you can master anything. No goal will be out of reach. No challenge will be too big. No setback will be permanent, because you will have built the mental and physical strength to keep going, no matter what. Success is waiting for you, but it will not come to you. You must go to it, and discipline is the key that will take you there. Number 3, develop skills that make you impossible to ignore. If you want to change your life, if you want opportunities to come your way, if you want to achieve something meaningful, then you must develop skills that make you impossible to ignore. Because in this world, you don't get what you want. You get what you earn. You don't get noticed for being average. You don't get rewarded for just showing up. You get rewarded for being exceptional, for bringing value, for having something that people need. So the question is, what skills do you have right now that make you stand out? If an opportunity came your way today, are you prepared to seize it? If not, then it's time to develop yourself. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you success. You have to build yourself into someone who deserves it. The first thing you must understand is that skills determine your value in the marketplace. If you have no skills, you have no value. If you have average skills, you have average value. But if you develop rare and powerful skills, your value skyrockets. And when your value increases, everything changes. You start attracting better opportunities, you start earning more, and people start respecting what you bring to the table. So what kind of skills should you develop? Start with the ones that matter most. Skills that can make a real difference in your life and career. And there are a few skills that no matter what industry you're in, will always make you more valuable. One of the most important is communication. If you can communicate well, you can influence people. You can sell ideas. You can lead. It doesn't matter how smart you are. If you can't express your thoughts clearly, if you can't connect with people, you will always struggle. The world belongs to those who can speak, write, and persuade. And the good news is, communication is a skill that can be learned. You can practice it, refine it, and master it over time. Another skill that will set you apart is problem solving. Most people run away from problems. They complain, they make excuses. But the people who succeed are the ones who can look at a problem and say, I will find a solution. If you develop the ability to think critically, to analyze situations, to figure out what needs to be done and take action, you will always be in demand. Because companies, businesses, and organizations are always looking for people who can solve problems. And then there's leadership. Even if you don't have a leadership position right now, developing leadership skills will put you ahead. Because leaders get noticed, they take responsibility, they make decisions, they inspire others to take action. And leadership isn't about a job title, it's about mindset and behavior. It's about stepping up when others hesitate. It's about taking charge of your own life and setting an example for those around you. But here's something most people overlook. Discipline is a skill. People think discipline is something you're born with, but that's not true. It's something you develop. And the stronger your discipline, the more successful you will be. Because discipline is what allows you to practice when you don't feel like it. It's what helps you stay consistent, push through obstacles, and keep going when others quit. Without discipline, even the best skills will go to waste. Now let's talk about adaptability. The world is changing fast. Technology is evolving. Industries are shifting. And if you don't learn how to adapt, you will be left behind. The ability to learn new skills quickly, to embrace change instead of fearing it, to adjust when things don't go as planned. This is what makes someone truly valuable. Because problems will come, setbacks will happen, but if you can adapt, you will always find a way forward. And here's something that can make you stand out instantly. Work ethic. Most people do the bare minimum. They show up, do what's required, and nothing more. But if you become the person who goes the extra mile, the person who delivers more than expected, the person who takes pride in their work, you will quickly rise above the rest. Because hard work combined with skill is a powerful combination. Now, developing skills is not about sitting around and thinking about it. It requires action. It requires daily effort. And the best way to build skills is through practice. Repetition is the key. If you want to get better at communication, practice speaking every day. If you want to improve your problem-solving skills, start challenging yourself with difficult tasks. If you want to develop leadership, put yourself in situations where you have to make decisions. And don't be afraid to fail. Failure is part of learning. Every time you struggle with something, every time you make a mistake, you are getting better. If you learn from it. The only real failure is giving up. The only way to stay average is to avoid challenges. But if you push through, if you keep going, if you commit yourself to improvement, you will develop skills that most people never will. And when you do that, something incredible happens. People start to notice. Opportunities start coming your way. Doors that were once closed begin to open. Because now you are not just another person in the crowd. You are someone with something valuable to offer. But understand this, building skills is a lifelong process. There is no finish line. The most successful people in the world never stop learning, never stop improving, never stop sharpening their skills. Because the moment you stop growing, you start falling behind. So decide today. Decide that you will no longer be ignored. Decide that you will not settle for being average. Decide that you will develop skills that make you so valuable, so capable, so effective, that people have no choice but to notice you. Because when you do that, success is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes a matter of certainty. Number 4. Take full responsibility for your personal growth daily. If you want your life to change, if you want better opportunities, if you want to achieve the kind of success that most people only dream about, then you must take full responsibility for your personal growth every single day. Because no one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to push you to become better. No one is going to wake you up in the morning and make sure you're working on yourself. That's your job. That's your responsibility. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner your life will begin to change. Success is not something that just happens. It is something you create. It is something you build with daily effort, with discipline, with commitment. And the foundation of success is personal growth. Because you cannot achieve more until you become more. You cannot earn more until you learn more. You cannot lead others until you first lead yourself. Think about this for a moment. If your life is not where you want it to be right now, why is that? Is it because of circumstances? Is it because of other people? Is it because the world is unfair? No. The real reason is that you have not yet developed the skills, the habits, the mindset, and the discipline to create the life you want. And that is actually good news, because it means that you have the power to change it. You are not stuck where you are. You are not limited by your past. The only limits that exist are the ones you accept. So where do you start? How do you take full responsibility for your personal growth? It begins with a decision that from this moment forward, you will no longer wait for things to change. You will change yourself. You will take control of your habits, your learning, your mindset, and your actions. Because the moment you do that, you take control of your future. One of the most important habits you must develop is continuous learning. If you stop learning, you stop growing. And if you stop growing, your life will stay the same, or worse, it will decline. Because the world is moving forward every day. Technology is evolving, industries are changing, new skills are being developed. And if you are not learning, if you are not improving, you are falling behind. You must read books that expand your knowledge. You must listen to people who have achieved what you want to achieve. You must study success, because success leaves clues. And if you are not actively seeking knowledge every day, you are missing the opportunity to grow. But learning alone is not enough. You must apply what you learn. Most people read books, they watch motivational videos, they listen to advice, but they never take action. And that is why nothing changes. Because knowledge without action is wasted. You must take what you learn, and use it to improve your skills, to improve your work, to improve your decisions. That is how real growth happens. And growth requires discipline. You must hold yourself accountable every single day, because no one else will do it for you. If you don't set high standards for yourself, no one else will. If you don't demand more from yourself, no one else will. It is easy to get comfortable. It is easy to fall into routine, to do what is familiar, to stay in your comfort zone. But nothing grows in comfort. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, when you push beyond what is easy, when you force yourself to rise to a higher level. And that requires sacrifice. It means cutting out distractions. It means saying no to things that waste your time. It means choosing growth over entertainment. Because every day you are making a choice to grow or a choice to stay the same. Every decision you make is shaping your future. And the truth is, personal growth is not always easy. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when you are tired, days when you are frustrated. But that is exactly when growth happens. Because when you push through those moments, you develop the mental toughness that separates successful people from everyone else. Growth is also about who you surround yourself with. If you spend your time around people who are not growing, who are negative, who are content with mediocrity, then their mindset will influence you. But if you surround yourself with people who are ambitious, who are disciplined, who are constantly improving, then you will be inspired to grow as well. You must also learn to take feedback. Most people avoid criticism because it makes them uncomfortable. But feedback is one of the most powerful tools for growth. If you are willing to listen, to learn from your mistakes, to adjust and improve, then you will develop faster than those who ignore their weaknesses. And you must have a vision for your life. Growth without direction leads nowhere. You must know where you are going. What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to become? The clearer your vision, the more focused your growth will be. Because when you know exactly what you want, you can structure your growth around that goal. And the final step is consistency. Growth does not happen in a day. It happens in small, consistent actions repeated over time. If you read for one day, it will not change your life. But if you read every day for years, the knowledge you gain will be life-changing. If you work on your skills once in a while, you will not become great. But if you practice daily, you will master them. So the question is, are you willing to take responsibility for your growth? Are you willing to stop making excuses? Are you willing to wake up every morning and commit to becoming better than you were yesterday? Because if you are, then nothing can stop you. Personal growth is the key to everything you want in life. If you become better, your life will become better. If you develop skills, you will create more opportunities. If you build discipline, you will achieve your goals. It all starts with you. It all starts with the decision to take responsibility. So decide today. Decide that you will grow every day. Decide that you will do what it takes. Because the moment you do, your future begins to change. And once you commit to that path, success is no longer a question of if, it becomes a question of when. Number 5. Eliminate weak habits that hold you back forever. If you want to change your life, if you want to achieve real success, then you must eliminate the weak habits that are holding you back. Because the truth is, success is not just about what you do, it's also about what you stop doing. It's about removing the behaviors, the routines, and the patterns that keep you stuck. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because of their habits. The daily choices they make keep them in the same place year after year, wondering why nothing changes. Weak habits don't just slow you down. They steal your future. They rob you of your potential. And the worst part is, they become so normal that you don't even realize they're the reason you're struggling. But once you identify them, once you make the decision to cut them out, you free yourself. You give yourself a chance to grow, to succeed, to become the person you were meant to be. So, what are the weak habits that hold people back? The first is procrastination, waiting for the perfect time, delaying what you know you should do, telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next year. And before you know it, time has passed, and you are still in the same place. You must break this habit immediately, because every time you procrastinate, you are choosing to stay the same, and staying the same is the enemy of success. You don't need more time. You need to start with what you have right now. Another weak habit is making excuses, blaming circumstances, blaming other people, blaming your past. But none of those things will change your future. Every second you spend making excuses is a second you could be using to fix the problem. Successful people don't waste time explaining why something went wrong. They focus on what they can do to make it right. And that is the mindset you must develop. Then there's the habit of wasting time, spending hours on distractions, watching endless entertainment, scrolling through social media, doing things that add nothing to your future. Time is the most valuable resource you have. You can't get it back. Once it's gone forever. And if you are spending your days on things that do not serve your goals, you are throwing away your potential. If you want to be successful, you must become intentional with your time. Every minute should have a purpose. Another habit that destroys success is surrounding yourself with the wrong people. People who have no ambition. People who complain. People who discourage you. If you are constantly around negativity, it will affect you. You may not notice it at first, but over time it changes how you think. It lowers your standards. It makes you settle for less. You need to be around people who push you to be better. People who inspire you. People who challenge you. Because your environment shapes your future. Then there's the habit of avoiding discomfort. Growth requires effort. It requires discipline. It requires stepping into the unknown, facing challenges and pushing through when things get tough. But most people avoid anything that feels hard. They quit at the first sign of struggle. They choose comfort over progress. And that is why they never change. Success does not come to those who seek an easy life. It comes to those who are willing to endure difficulty, to struggle, to fight for what they want. If you want to grow, you must break the habit of running away from challenges. Another weak habit is neglecting your health. Because no matter how ambitious you are, if you don't take care of yourself, you will not have the energy, the focus, or the strength to succeed. Bad eating habits, lack of exercise, poor sleep. These things will slow you down. They will make you tired, unmotivated, and weak. Your body and mind must be in peak condition if you want to perform at your best. When you treat your health as a priority, your energy increases, your discipline improves, your mind becomes sharper, and that gives you the power to execute on your goals. Then there's the habit of waiting for motivation, thinking that you need to feel inspired before you take action. But motivation is not something you wait for, it's something you create. If you only work when you feel like it, you will never achieve anything great. Because feelings are unreliable. They change. One day you are excited, the next day you are not. And if you depend on that, your progress will be inconsistent. Success comes from discipline, doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Another habit that holds people back is the fear of failure. Being afraid to make mistakes. Being afraid of what others will think. But failure is part of success. It is how you learn. It is how you grow. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count. But they did not let that stop them. They learned, they adapted, and they kept moving forward. The only real failure is giving up. The only way to guarantee that you never succeed is to stop trying. If you want to win, you must be willing to fail. Then there's the habit of low standards. Accepting average. Settling for less. Telling yourself, this is good enough. But good enough is not enough. If you want to be great, you must demand more from yourself. More effort, more growth, more discipline. The difference between those who achieve success and those who don't is that successful people refuse to settle. They hold themselves to a higher standard. They push themselves to be better. And that is what you must do if you want to reach your full potential. And finally, there's the habit of never making decisions. Overthinking, doubting yourself, waiting for the perfect answer. But the truth is, life is not about making perfect decisions. It's about making decisions and then making them right. If you spend your life waiting, you will always be behind. Success comes to those who take action, those who make choices and commit to them, those who take risks and learn along the way. If you want to move forward, you must stop hesitating and start deciding. Now, eliminating weak habits is not easy. These habits are familiar, they are comfortable, they are deeply ingrained. But you have to understand that keeping them is a choice. And if you choose to hold on to them, you are choosing to stay the same. The only way to break these habits is to replace them with stronger ones. Replace procrastination with action. Replace excuses with responsibility. Replace distractions with focus. Replace negativity with discipline. Every single day you have a choice to improve, or a choice to stay the same. And when you choose growth, when you choose discipline, when you choose to eliminate every weak habit that is holding you back, your life will begin to change. You will start achieving things you never thought possible. You will become stronger, more confident, more capable, because success is not about luck. It is not about talent. It is about habits. And when you build the right habits, when you remove the wrong ones, success is no longer a matter of chance. It becomes a matter of time. Number 6. Strengthen your mindset to handle any challenge ahead. If you want to achieve anything great in life, you must develop a strong mindset. A weak mind will crumble under pressure. A strong mind will rise above any challenge. And the truth is, life will test you. It will throw difficulties your way. It will push you to your limits. And when that happens, the question is not, will you face challenges? The question is, how will you respond? Some people break under pressure. Others become stronger. Some give up when things don't go their way. Others find a way to push through. And the difference between them is mindset. A weak mind looks for an excuse. A strong mind looks for a solution. A weak mind complains about problems. A strong mind turns problems into opportunities. A weak mind waits for things to get easier. A strong mind adapts, learns, and grows. The good news is, mindset is not something you are born with. It is something you build. It is something you develop. And the stronger you make it, the more prepared you will be for anything life throws at you. So how do you strengthen your mindset? The first step is taking full responsibility for your life. You cannot have a strong mind if you believe that your problems are someone else's fault. If you blame your circumstances, if you blame other people, if you blame your past, you give away your power. Because the moment you blame something outside of yourself, you are saying, I have no control. And when you believe you have no control, you stop trying. You accept failure. You settle for less. But the truth is, you are in control. You cannot change everything that happens, but you can control how you respond. And how you respond determines your future. The second step is training your mind to handle discomfort. Most people avoid struggle. They avoid hard work. They avoid anything that feels uncomfortable. And that is why they remain weak. Strength is built through challenge. If you always take the easy road, you will never grow. If you always avoid pain, you will never develop resilience. A strong mind is built through discipline, through pushing yourself, through doing things that others are unwilling to do. The third step is mastering your emotions. Weak minds are controlled by emotions. They let fear stop them. They let doubt hold them back. They let frustration make them quit. But a strong mind does not react to emotions. It controls them. Fear will always be there. Doubt will always be there. But they do not have to control you. A strong mind acknowledges emotions, but does not let them dictate actions. It chooses logic over panic. It chooses discipline over impulse. The fourth step is developing a problem-solving mindset. Weak minds focus on what is wrong. They complain. They feel sorry for themselves. But a strong mind looks for solutions. It does not waste time feeling helpless. It asks, what can I do? And then takes action. No matter what challenge you face, there is always something you can do to improve the situation. Maybe it's a small step. Maybe it's a difficult decision. But there is always an option. The difference between success and failure is not the absence of problems. It is the ability to face them with a solution-focused mindset. The fifth step is learning to endure failure. Weak minds see failure as the end. They see it as proof that they are not good enough. But strong minds understand that failure is part of the process. It is a lesson. It is feedback. Every failure teaches you something. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn. The only real failure is quitting. As long as you keep going, as long as you keep learning, you are still on the path to success. The sixth step is setting high standards for yourself. If you accept average effort, you will get average results. If you allow yourself to be lazy, to be inconsistent, to be undisciplined, you will never achieve greatness. A strong mind demands more. It does not tolerate excuses. It does not accept mediocrity. It pushes for excellence. It holds itself accountable. The seventh step is surrounding yourself with the right people. Weak minds are influenced by negativity. They allow other people's opinions to control them. They let doubt, criticism, and negativity shake their confidence. But strong minds choose their environment carefully. They surround themselves with people who challenge them, who inspire them, who push them to be better. If you are always around people who complain, who give up, who settle for less, their mindset will affect yours. But if you surround yourself with people who are driven, disciplined, and focused, their mindset will strengthen yours. The eighth step is staying committed to growth. A strong mind is never satisfied with staying the same. It is always looking for ways to improve. It reads, it learns, it trains, it sharpens itself every day. Weak minds think they already know enough. They stop learning. They stop growing. And that is when they become stuck. If you want to be unstoppable, you must be committed to lifelong learning. The ninth step is developing unshakable confidence. Not arrogance, but real confidence. Confidence built on preparation, on effort, on discipline. A weak mind doubts itself. It questions every decision. It second-guesses every step. But a strong mind trusts itself. It believes in its ability to figure things out. It does not need constant reassurance from others. It knows that as long as it stays disciplined, focused, and determined, success is inevitable. The final step is never giving up, because no matter how strong your mind is, there will be moments when you feel like quitting. There will be days when things go wrong, when everything feels difficult, when progress seems slow. But a strong mind does not give in to those feelings. It keeps going. It pushes forward. It finds a way. And that is why it wins. If you want to strengthen your mindset, you must commit to these steps every single day. Because mindset is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it becomes. And when you develop a strong mindset, there is nothing you cannot handle. No challenge too big. No setback too painful. No failure too discouraging. Because a strong mind does not hope for an easy life. It prepares for a difficult one. And because it is prepared, because it is disciplined, because it is unshakable, it always finds a way to succeed. Number 7. Push yourself beyond limits to earn greater rewards. Pushing yourself beyond your limits is not just about working harder, it's about demanding more from yourself than you ever thought possible. It's about reaching a point where your mind tells you to stop, where your body tells you to quit, but you refuse, because you understand one thing. Growth only happens when you push past your comfort zone. Most people never reach their full potential because they stop the moment things get hard. They slow down when they feel resistance. They give up when they experience discomfort. But the truth is, everything you want, the success, the rewards, the freedom, the confidence, is on the other side of that resistance. You don't grow by staying where it's safe. You grow by pushing beyond what you think you can do. The people who succeed at the highest level are not necessarily more talented or more gifted. They just have a different mindset. They don't stop at good enough. They don't accept limits set by fear or doubt. They push through exhaustion. They keep moving forward when others slow down. And that is why they achieve what others don't. To push yourself beyond limits, you must first recognize the power of your own mind. Your mind will always try to protect you from discomfort. It will tell you to stop when you still have more to give. It will try to convince you that you are too tired, that it's too difficult, that you should take it easy. And if you listen to that voice, you will never know how strong you really are. You must train yourself to ignore the excuses. When your mind says, I can't, you must respond, I will. When it says, "This is too hard," you must push even harder. When it says, "I've done enough," you must demand more. Because that is where the real growth happens. The point where most people quit is the same point where champions begin. If you want greater rewards in life, you must stop setting small goals. Too many people aim for just getting by, for just doing enough to stay comfortable. They don't set goals that challenge them, that force them to become more. But if you want something extraordinary, you must set goals that stretch you, goals that demand your best. When you aim high, you wake up with purpose. You stop making excuses. You stop wasting time, because you know you have work to do. And when you are working towards something bigger than yourself, you don't let small obstacles slow you down. One of the biggest reasons people don't push themselves is fear. Fear of failure, fear of discomfort, fear of not being good enough. But fear is only an illusion. It disappears the moment you take action. The moment you decide to move forward, fear loses its power. When you push yourself, you develop resilience. You build mental toughness. You become the kind of person who doesn't break under pressure. And when you develop that kind of strength, nothing can stop you. Because while others look for the easy way out, you look for the next challenge. While others complain about how hard it is, you embrace the struggle. Because you understand that struggle is what makes you stronger. The only way to achieve something great is to demand more from yourself. More discipline, more effort, more commitment. The moment you accept less than your best, you settle. And when you settle, you never reach the rewards you could have had. Most people never push beyond their limits because they underestimate what they are capable of. They assume that because something feels hard, it's impossible. But the reality is, you are far stronger than you think. Your potential is far greater than you realize. And the only way to discover that is to keep going when it feels like you can't. Success is never handed to anyone. It is earned through effort, through sacrifice, through perseverance. And the people who achieve the most are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who pushed through when others gave up. When you push beyond limits, you develop confidence. Not the kind of confidence that comes from wishing or hoping, but the kind that comes from knowing you have earned it. The confidence that says, "I can handle whatever comes my way." You must train yourself to embrace challenges, to seek out difficult tasks instead of avoiding them, to do the things that others are afraid to do. Because when you consistently push yourself, you build a reputation, not just with others, but with yourself. You become someone who follows through, someone who finishes what they start, someone who does not quit. People who achieve great things don't have easier lives. They don't have more luck. They simply have a greater commitment. They refuse to settle. They refuse to stop at good enough. They push through pain, through exhaustion, through frustration. Because they know that the greater the effort, the greater the reward. You will never regret pushing yourself. You will never look back and wish you had done less. But you will regret the times you quit too soon. The times you let fear stop you. The times you settled when you could have had more. The truth is, you have no idea what you are truly capable of until you test yourself, until you push yourself past what you thought was possible. That is when you discover your real strength. That is when you realize that the only limits that exist are the ones you refuse to challenge. If you want greater rewards, you must be willing to do what most people won't. You must wake up earlier, work harder, stay focused longer. You must develop a mindset that does not accept excuses, a mindset that thrives under pressure, a mindset that refuses to stop. Because the moment you decide that you are capable of more, everything changes. The moment you refuse to accept limits, you open doors that others will never walk through. Pushing yourself is not about proving something to others. It is about proving something to yourself. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle anything. The kind of person who does not back down. The kind of person who knows that every sacrifice, every challenge, every moment of struggle is leading to something greater. And when you reach that level of discipline, of commitment, of strength, you will realize that the rewards were always within your reach. You just had to push beyond the limits to claim them. Number 8. Invest in lifelong learning to increase your worth. Lifelong learning is the foundation of personal and financial growth. The more you learn, the more you can offer. The more skills you develop, the more valuable you become. Most people stop learning after they finish school. They think education is something you do for a few years, and then it's over. But that's why most people stay in the same place for years. That's why their income doesn't grow. That's why their confidence doesn't increase. They stopped growing because they stopped learning. Knowledge is the real currency of success. The person who knows more, who understands more, who can do more will always have an advantage. The world rewards people who improve themselves. If you want to make more money, you have to become more valuable. If you want better opportunities, you have to develop skills that make you stand out. If you want more confidence, you need to know that you have the ability to solve problems, to create value, to contribute in ways that others cannot. The good news is, you are not limited to what you already know. You are not stuck with the skills you have today. You have the ability to grow, to improve, to develop new strengths. The question is, are you willing to do the work? Investing in lifelong learning is a decision to be better tomorrow than you are today, a decision to never stop improving, a decision to take full responsibility for your own development. No one is going to come along and hand you success. No one is going to force you to learn, to read, to grow. That's on you. Some people wait for life to get easier, but life doesn't get easier. You have to get stronger. And the way to get stronger is to increase your knowledge, sharpen your skills, and expand your understanding. The most successful people are obsessed with learning. They read books. They study the habits of high achievers. They seek mentors. They ask questions. They never assume they know everything. They understand that the more they learn, the more they earn. If you want to increase your worth, increase what you know. If you want people to respect you, master something valuable. If you want to be irreplaceable in your field, become the best at what you do. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that learning is something you do only when it's required. They think, I'll learn when my job demands it, or I'll study when I have more time. That's the thinking of someone who will always be stuck in the same place. Winners don't wait until it's necessary. They stay ahead. They learn before they need it. They prepare before the opportunity arrives. And that's why when the opportunity comes, they are ready, while others are scrambling to catch up. The world is changing every day. Technology is advancing. Industries are shifting. The skills that were valuable 5 years ago may not be as valuable today. If you are not learning, you are falling behind. If you are not improving, you are becoming replaceable. But if you commit to lifelong learning, you will always be ahead of the curve. You will always have options. You will never be at the mercy of a changing world because you will have the ability to adapt, to grow, to stay relevant. People often say they don't have time to learn, but time is not the issue. The real issue is priorities. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. The difference is what you choose to do with those hours. Some people spend hours watching television, scrolling through social media, doing things that add no value to their lives. Others use that time to read, to study, to develop skills that will pay off for years. The question is, what are you doing with your time? Are you using it to get ahead, or are you wasting it? Are you building a future for yourself, or are you just getting through each day with no real progress? If you want to increase your worth, start treating your mind like an investment. The more you put into it, the more you will get out of it. Read books that challenge your thinking. Study subjects that will help you grow. Learn skills that will make you more valuable. Surround yourself with people who push you to be better. Most people don't do this because it requires effort. It's easier to be entertained than to be educated. It's easier to relax than to push yourself. But the people who take the easy route never reach their full potential. The ones who commit to lifelong learning, who push themselves every day, those are the people who go further in life. Every book you read gives you an edge. Every skill you develop increases your value. Every bit of knowledge you gain puts you in a better position than you were before. If you make learning a habit, success becomes inevitable. Think about the most successful people in history. They all had one thing in common. They never stopped learning. They never assumed they knew enough. They were always searching for ways to improve, to grow, to become more. If you follow that path, you will separate yourself from the average. You will create opportunities that others will never see. Your income will always match your knowledge. If you want to earn more, if you want to have better options in life, develop better skills, the marketplace rewards those who can create value. And the only way to create more value is to increase your ability to solve problems, to think strategically, to master something that people need. Learning is the foundation of confidence. When you know you have the skills to succeed, you stop doubting yourself. When you know you can add value wherever you go, you stop feeling insecure. When you know you have prepared yourself, you stop fearing failure, because you know you have the tools to overcome any challenge. If you are not learning, you are standing still. And in a world that is constantly changing, standing still means falling behind. But if you make the decision today to commit to lifelong learning, you will always be moving forward. You will always be growing. And with growth comes confidence, success, and the ability to create the life you want. This is not about reading a book once in a while. It's about making learning a part of your daily life. It's about being curious, about seeking wisdom, about constantly looking for ways to improve. If you make that commitment, there will be no limit to what you can achieve. You have everything you need to increase your worth. You have the time. You have the ability. The only thing missing is the decision. The decision to take your personal growth seriously. The decision to never settle for what you already know. The decision to always be improving. If you make that decision, your future will be different. Your opportunities will expand. Your confidence will grow. And you will become the kind of person who can create success in any situation. That is the power of lifelong learning. That is the path to true growth. Number 9. Surround yourself with high achievers who inspire action. There is a simple but powerful truth in life. You become like the people you spend the most time with. It's not just a cliche, it's a fact. The people you surround yourself with will shape your thinking, influence your actions, and impact the way you approach life. If you're serious about achieving success, you must understand that the people you associate with are a crucial factor in your journey. Too many people wonder why they're stuck, why they aren't making progress, why they feel like they're not reaching their potential. The truth is that they might be surrounding themselves with the wrong people. If you want to elevate your life, if you want to achieve more, if you want to see different results, you must surround yourself with high achievers. These are the people who inspire you to act, who challenge you to think bigger, who push you to grow beyond what you thought was possible. People often underestimate the power of influence. Your environment plays a huge role in shaping who you are and what you can achieve. If you're around people who are constantly complaining, who aren't striving for more, who are content with mediocrity, it will be very difficult for you to rise above that. But if you surround yourself with individuals who are driven, motivated, and committed to achieving greatness, that energy will rub off on you. It's a natural law. The people you spend the most time with will have an undeniable influence on the course of your life. Think about the people in your inner circle. Are they helping you grow, or are they holding you back? Are they encouraging you to be better, to push harder, to chase your dreams, or are they keeping you in your comfort zone, reinforcing your excuses, and giving you reasons not to take action? This is the first step in recognizing where you are and where you want to go. When you surround yourself with high achievers, you are automatically placed in a position where growth becomes inevitable. High achievers are not just successful in their own right. They are successful because they have developed the mindset, the habits, and the discipline that allow them to achieve at a high level. They have mastered the art of taking action. They are constantly moving forward, constantly pushing boundaries, and constantly striving for more. When you're around people like that, it forces you to raise your own standards. You can't help but be inspired to take action. One of the key benefits of surrounding yourself with high achievers is that they make you realize what is truly possible. You start seeing examples of success all around you, and that starts to break down the barriers you've put up in your own mind. You begin to see that your dreams aren't just fantasies. They are achievable, they are real, and they are within your reach. High achievers show you what's possible because they've already walked the path. They've put in the work. They've faced the challenges. They've overcome the obstacles. And now they're living proof that success is not just for the lucky few. It's for anyone willing to put in the effort. But this doesn't just happen automatically. You need to seek out these individuals. You need to find people who are a few steps ahead of you. People who can guide you. People who can challenge you to think bigger and work harder. You need to surround yourself with people who will inspire you to take massive action every single day. And you have to be intentional about it. It's important to recognize that high achievers don't just motivate you by their words. They motivate you by their actions. The way they carry themselves. The way they approach their work. The level of excellence they demand from themselves. It all becomes a blueprint for how you should approach your own life. They don't just talk about success, they live it. And that's the kind of energy you need in your life. At first it might feel uncomfortable to be around people who are constantly moving forward, constantly striving for more. It might make you feel like you're not doing enough, or like you're not measuring up. But that discomfort is exactly what you need. It's what forces you to grow. It's what challenges you to step outside of your own comfort zone. If you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. High achievers will make you uncomfortable, but in the best possible way. They will push you to take action, to think bigger, to believe in your own potential. You see, high achievers don't waste time on excuses. They don't wait for things to be perfect. They don't wait for the stars to align. They take action, even when things are uncertain. And when you're surrounded by people like that, it becomes contagious. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop putting things off. You start realizing that the best time to take action is now, not tomorrow. That kind of mindset is critical to your success. But here's the key. You can't expect high achievers to just show up in your life. You need to actively seek them out. You need to find people who are committed to growth, who are dedicated to their own success, who are constantly looking for ways to improve. These people might be a mentor, a colleague, or even someone you admire from a distance. You need to connect with them, learn from them, and surround yourself with their energy. And let's be clear about this. Surrounding yourself with high achievers doesn't mean simply hanging out with successful people. It means immersing yourself in an environment that is filled with action, ideas, and the drive to succeed. It means learning from those who are willing to invest in themselves, who are willing to push themselves past their limits. High achievers don't just talk about goals, they work relentlessly to achieve them. And being around that kind of energy will inevitably change the way you approach your own goals. The truth is, success leaves clues. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to figure everything out on your own. You can learn from the people who have already achieved the success you want. And when you surround yourself with high achievers, you start to see the patterns. You start to recognize what works and what doesn't. You start to adopt the habits and strategies that will get you to where you want to go faster. But it's not just about business or career success. Surrounding yourself with high achievers also influences your personal life. High achievers tend to be disciplined, organized, and focused. They take care of their health, they manage their time well, and they make sure they are always growing as individuals. When you surround yourself with people like this, you'll start to pick up their habits. You'll start to take better care of yourself. You'll start managing your time more effectively. You'll begin to see that success isn't just about professional achievements. It's about becoming the best version of yourself in every area of life. One of the most powerful things you can do for your future is to choose the people you spend time with wisely. High achievers inspire action. They push you to become more than you ever thought you could be. They challenge you to think bigger, to set higher goals, and to take action every single day. When you surround yourself with people who are relentless in their pursuit of greatness, you begin to see that there are no limits. There are no excuses. There are only results. Now take a look at your inner circle. Who are you spending your time with? Are they inspiring you to be better, to do more, to take action, or are they holding you back, reinforcing your fears, and keeping you stuck? If you want to succeed, it's time to make a change. Seek out the high achievers. Learn from them. Surround yourself with those who inspire you to act, to grow, to push your limits. Because the people you surround yourself with will determine how far you go. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with people who will help you go further than you ever thought possible.
Number 10. Become the person who naturally attracts massive success. Becoming the person who naturally attracts massive success is not something that happens overnight. It requires effort, dedication, and a willingness to change.
But once you understand the key elements that make you a magnet for success, you will start to notice that opportunities come your way more effortlessly, that doors begin to open, and that your life starts to unfold in ways that once seemed impossible. Success is not a matter of luck, it's a matter of becoming the right person. Success is not about chasing something external, it's about transforming who you are on the inside. It's about becoming someone who radiates success, who is aligned with their highest potential, and who takes consistent action toward their goals every single day. The first step to becoming this person is to understand that success begins with your mindset. Your mindset is the foundation for everything that follows. It's not enough to just wish for success or hope that it will come your way. You must actively shape the way you think, the way you approach challenges, and the way you view the world. Successful people do not see themselves as victims of circumstance. They understand that they are in control of their lives. They know that their thoughts, beliefs, and actions determine the results they get. They don't waste time blaming others or making excuses. They take full responsibility for their lives, knowing that their success or failure is a direct result of the choices they make every day. If you want to attract success, you must first believe that you deserve it. Too many people sabotage their own potential because they don't truly believe that success is meant for them. They believe success is for other people, but not for them. They have doubts, they have fears, and they are paralyzed by their own limiting beliefs. But here's the truth. You are capable of far more than you think. The only thing standing between you and your goals is your own belief in yourself. Once you start to believe that success is not only possible but inevitable, you start to change the way you approach life. You start to take more risks. You start to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. You start to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable, because you know that this is how you grow. When you become someone who believes in their own worth, you begin to make decisions that align with that belief. You begin to act in ways that reflect the success you want to attract. You stop procrastinating, and you stop waiting for the perfect moment. You realize that the best time to start is right now. Successful people don't wait for the right time to take action. They create the right time by starting where they are. They don't wait for everything to be perfect, because they know that perfection is an illusion. They understand that success is a journey, not a destination, and that progress is more important than perfection. As you continue to work on your mindset, the next step is to focus on your habits. Success is not about occasional bursts of effort. It's about consistent, disciplined action over time. The person who attracts success has developed the habits that support their goals. They don't leave things to chance. They don't just work hard when they feel like it. They work hard every day, no matter how they feel. They have created a set of habits that align with their vision, and these habits drive their success. The key is to make success a daily practice, not something you only think about when it's convenient. One of the most powerful habits you can cultivate is the habit of setting clear goals. Successful people know exactly what they want, and they break their goals down into manageable steps. They don't just think about their dreams in vague terms. They make a plan and take consistent action toward that plan every day. Setting goals gives you direction. It helps you stay focused and keeps you on track, even when the road gets tough. It also provides you with a sense of purpose, which is incredibly motivating. Without clear goals, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle of daily life. But when you have a clear vision and specific goals, you become more intentional with your actions and your progress accelerates. As you focus on developing your habits, it's also important to cultivate the habit of resilience. Life will throw challenges your way. There will be setbacks, failures, and obstacles, but it's how you respond to those challenges that will determine your success. The person who attracts success doesn't give up when things get tough. They keep going. They understand that failure is not the end of the road, it's simply a lesson. They learn from their mistakes, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. They know that success is not a straight line, it's a series of ups and downs, and they are willing to do whatever it takes to keep pushing through those challenges. Another important trait of successful people is their ability to stay focused. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to get sidetracked. It's easy to lose sight of what really matters. But the person who attracts success knows how to block out the noise and stay focused on their goals. They don't get caught up in the opinions of others or let fear hold them back. They have the discipline to stay focused on their mission, even when it's hard, and that focus allows them to make incredible progress toward their dreams. But success is not just about working hard and staying focused. It's also about building relationships with the right people. Successful people understand the value of surrounding themselves with other high achievers. They understand that success is not a solo journey. They know that who they spend time with will either elevate them or hold them back. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, and who believe in your potential is one of the most powerful ways to attract success into your life. When you are around people who push you to be your best, who encourage you when you're feeling down, and who celebrate your victories, you are more likely to take the actions necessary to succeed. Networking, connecting with others, and building meaningful relationships are all essential components of becoming a person who attracts success. But it's not just about networking for the sake of it. It's about forming genuine relationships with people who share your values, your vision, and your drive. These are the people who will help you grow, who will hold you accountable, and who will provide you with the support you need to succeed. As you continue to grow and develop the traits of a successful person, you'll notice something incredible happening. Opportunities will begin to come your way. Doors that were once closed will begin to open. People will want to work with you, invest in you, and support you because they see that you are someone who is committed to success. You will no longer have to chase success. Success will begin to chase you. This is the power of becoming the person who attracts massive success. But remember, this doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey. It takes time. It takes consistent effort. But if you are committed to becoming the person who attracts success, you will begin to see the results in every area of your life. Your mindset will shift. Your habits will change. Your relationships will improve, and your success will grow. The key is to take responsibility for your own growth, to believe in yourself, to develop the habits that support your goals, and to never stop working toward your vision. In the end, becoming the person who naturally attracts success isn't about chasing success externally. It's about becoming someone who is internally aligned with the principles of success. It's about becoming someone who lives with purpose, who takes consistent action, who remains resilient in the face of adversity, and who is willing to do whatever it takes to reach their goals. When you make this shift, success will no longer be something you have to chase. It will be something that comes to you effortlessly, because you've become the kind of person who attracts it naturally.